Sometime in the near future, a popular game show called Mafia has captured worldwide attention. The game always begins with 11 contestants, 9 civilians and 2 Mafia members. The civilians must identify and vote out the Mafia members to win the grand prize of $1 billion. However, the Mafia can kill off one person each night. Whichever faction wins takes the huge cash prize, while the voted out players meet a gruesome demise. After assigning roles, the mysterious creator prompts the contestants to introduce themselves, starting with an elderly man named Luca. Luca reveals he is a wealthy businessman who gambles on everything, even his own life, as he has grown bored with routine. His only family are his children, who anxiously await his fortune like vultures. Unbeknownst to them, Luca has already signed away his wealth, so his greedy children won't inherit a single penny after he dies. Luca assures everyone he is not Mafia. The next player introduced is Ilya, who reveals he has nothing to lose since he was diagnosed with terminal cancer and only has 3 months left to live. He entered the game hoping to win money for his family, but his wife wishes he would just spend his final days with her instead of risking death on live TV. Soon the announcer moves on to introduce the third and fourth contestants, explaining these two are playing for a different reason than money. It turns out they are dangerous criminals who joined to try and win back their freedom. The younger criminal, Ivan, insists he was wrongly convicted, a claim that prompts laughter from the other convict known as Mr. Butcher. As the remaining contestants introduce themselves, they all claim to be ordinary citizens with no secrets to hide. The countdown begins, forcing the players to vote on suspected Mafia members. Heated arguments erupt and insults are exchanged among contestants until a woman named Mary tells everyone to stop wasting time. With no real clues about the Mafia identities, she decides to go with her first impression and accuses a man named Kirill. Another man, Peter, quickly agrees and urges everyone to vote right away. But this is interrupted by Mr. Butcher, who recognizes Mary from a TV show. He also remembers Peter's obsession with Mary, suggesting they might be accomplices. It's revealed that Mary was once a popular dancer, but her career was ruined by an accident that left her unable to walk. Having no other options, entering the Mafia game was her only chance to reclaim her life. Realizing they've been exposed, Peter admits this is true, but assures the players that they are not working together as mafias. The other players doubt this, beginning to unanimously vote for Mary, causing her to blame Peter through tearful cries. The man tries to save the girl by claiming he's Mafia, but no one believes him. Mary is swiftly voted out. As she raises her hand, Mary reveals she is actually a civilian, shocking everyone. Suddenly, her chair moves, pulling her towards the sinister black sphere and consuming her entirely, making her lose consciousness. Mary finds herself in a rainstorm, with lightning furiously striking from the sky. She desperately runs through the forest, pursued by the energy. Trapped at a cliff's edge with no way out, Mary jumps to her death. Inside the sphere, her body disintegrates to dust. The now empty chair retracts back to the platform, making the players realize this could end up being their own fate too. The creator is not impressed by the players' choices, giving the Mafia their chance to kill a civilian without the others knowing. When dawn breaks, the Mafias have already chosen someone to be killed. Mr. Butcher is the victim. He explodes with fury, cursing the players, but Peter seems happy with the result as he blames the criminal for Mary's death. Soon, Mr. Butcher is also taken into the black sphere. He finds himself alone inside a large building as crowds cheer from surrounding balconies. Realizing he's in danger, Mr. Butcher is attacked by 2 men wielding weapons. They kick him to the ground, but the criminal fights back dirty, killing one opponent. However, the enemies regenerate every time he kills them, turning to dust and reviving to fight again. After many brutal rounds, Mr. Butcher finally disposes of them permanently, roaring victoriously at the crowd. The prisoners cheer his bravery, making Mr. Butcher believe he has won. But this was all part of the creator's sinister plan. Mr. Butcher stumbles backwards, falling to the ground and fatally smashing into rocks, dying foolishly in front of the crowd. Back in the game, the players must vote again to uncover the Mafia's identities. As the timer counts down, a mysterious man named Konstantin claims he knows who the Mafias are. It's revealed Constantine has a brain mutation allowing him to see the future. He uses this ability as a crisis consultant for corporations. Constantine declares Peter as the real Mafia, having killed Mr. Butcher to avenge Mary. Although it makes sense, the others struggle to believe a stranger's word. But to their surprise, Peter agrees with the accusation. The players laugh at his foolishness, but Peter then reveals Constantine is Mafia too. Everyone starts voting for both men, but Peter garners the majority as prime suspect. Laughing quietly, Peter reveals they've made a mistake. He is just a civilian while Constantine smirks victoriously. As the chair lifts him upwards, Peter is happy to join his beloved Mary. The sphere takes Peter into a vast ocean where he awakens inside a small boat surrounded by water. He tries paddling away, but the creator punctures a hole in the boat, causing water to flood in. Worse, sharks circle hungrily, leaving Peter nowhere to run. As Peter approaches the island, he sees the land disappearing before his eyes. With their prey devoured, the sharks now rush ravenously towards Peter in great numbers. Sensing his imminent death, Peter sees a vision of his beloved Mary before being devoured by the monstrous sharks. With 3 civilians dead and the Mafia still at large, the game grants the players one last vote before night falls. A middle-aged man named Walter speaks up first, revealing he is a high-ranking army officer with extensive combat experience. However, he became psychologically unstable after losing all his men, blaming only himself. Walter condescends the criminal seated beside him as he despises lawbreakers, but Ivan continues to insist on his innocence. Their conversation is interrupted by a woman named Larissa who accuses Walter of being a bully. This provokes Walter to reveal Ivan's true crime. It turns out Ivan was a recent graduate celebrating with friends when they crashed their vehicle into a wall. Ivan and the driver survived, but 2 friends died in the explosion. At trial, witnesses falsely claimed Ivan was driving that night, resulting in his imprisonment. Ivan desperately pleads his innocence while Walter argues with Larissa, suspecting she and Ivan are mafias. In an attempt to sway others, he swiftly votes for Larissa, but his erratic behavior only makes Walter seem suspicious instead. The others unanimously vote against Walter, sentencing the protesting officer to die. Revealing he too is just a civilian, Walter warns they will all die as well. The giant chair pulls Walter into the black sphere, sending him into a nightmare. Walter finds himself commanding his soldiers, but the men are ambushed and killed one by one, leaving him the sole survivor. Before he can fully comprehend the situation, Walter finds himself surrounded in the building and gunned down, just like his men. After Walter's death, night falls again, allowing the Mafia to secretly choose their next victim as the others anxiously await the results. When the lights return, the announcer reveals the Mafia has chosen Larissa, but she seems unafraid. Larissa was once a happy wife until she spiraled into vices, destroying her marriage and family until they abandoned her. She became a shut-in for years in her apartment. One day, while driving drunk, Larissa witnessed an accident and managed to save the young man, Ivan. However, she reveals she is responsible for ruining Ivan's life, having been paid off to falsely accuse him as the driver. But surprisingly, he forgives her. Soon, the giant chair takes Larissa towards the black sphere to meet her nightmare. She awakens alone on an airplane heading directly into a massive storm. The clouds grow tentacles, destroying the engines and sending the plane plunging. The flight attendant tells Larissa not to worry before being ripped away by violent winds tearing open the plane, causing panic. The demonic clouds surround the passengers, twisting and shredding the aircraft, killing all inside, including Larissa. With 6 players remaining and no Mafia found yet, the game continues. Kirill insists Ivan must be the suspect, recognizing and killing Larissa for revenge. A young woman named Katya disagrees, suggesting it could be Constantine since he falsely accused civilian Peter. Surprisingly, Constantine just tells Katya a prophecy. She must go to the triangle when cornered. Soon voting begins, split between Ivan and Constantine without a majority. Shockingly, Constantine ultimately votes for himself, forcing him to reveal he is the Mafia. Like the others, Constantine enters the black sphere and finds himself in a dark stairwell with aging mirrors. Coughing violently as he rapidly grows old, Konstantin collapses dying, but unafraid. He claims this was his plan, to alter the game's destiny and ensure the creator's eventual defeat when the players destroy the game's existence. Konstantin dies, but the announcer ignores his threats as the next round starts, allowing the Mafia to secretly kill again. When the lights return, Ivan is revealed as the latest victim. Despite his impending death, Ivan feels victorious, having reclaimed his innocence before the audiences and, most importantly, his mother. All the people watched with sadness as Ivan was brought to the black sphere of death, where he was put into a prison cell to be executed despite his innocence. In Ivan's mind's eye, he was able to see his mother once more, and she displayed her pride towards her son. When he saw his mother's expression, he finally found the courage to face death, as all the guns fired at him, killing him. With Ivan gone, only 4 players remained, meaning they could not afford any more mistakes in the voting process. However, everyone seemed more confused than ever. Ilya accused Kirill of conspiring with Katya since they seemed overly familiar with each other. He thought they were lovers. It turned out they did know each other from before the game, having met at a bar. But Kirill denied conspiring with Katya. With this, Luka believed their fates were in the hands of Kirill and Katya. However, Katya could not decide who to kill next. Soon the timer ran out, and the game randomly chose Katya as the next victim. She revealed she too was innocent. As Katya was lifted up, she apologized for failing the players. But Kirill broke free and grabbed her chair in desperation. They were both brought into the sphere as the creator watched, fascinated by this unprecedented event. The two were quickly moved to a mysterious location, where Kirill regained consciousness and realized they were standing on nothing but glass. He told Katya not to be afraid and began walking towards her, but soon saw the floor cracking beneath them. Realizing time was running out, Kirill ran to Katya as the ground shattered under his feet. He reached her just in time and they jumped into the abyss together as the floor gave way. When Kirill awoke, he was surprised they had survived, but found they were lost. Soon they noticed the triangle Konstantin mentioned. It must be the way out. They continued towards the rock valley, but Kirill noticed something wrong. Tentacles began surrounding them. They ran desperately to evade the monsters. Eventually, they made it through the rocks into a large field. Ominous boss music played as a lava monster crawled towards them. Kirill told Katya to hide while he rushed to confront his worst fear. The monster attacked repeatedly with its claws, but Kirill dodged just in time. He noticed the creature's weakness. Sunlight evaporated its skin. He devised a plan, seeing the necklace on the monster's head. He ran towards the creature and climbed its arm. Grabbing the necklace, he fell to the ground as the monster furiously attacked. Seizing his chance, Kirill reflected sunlight at the creature, burning its body to dust. He took the necklace and placed it in the mechanism, completing the wall puzzle. A tornado consumed them, bringing them to the creator. The announcement declared the game over. The killer was alive with 1 civilian left, meaning the Mafia had won. But the creator explained that this was his plan all along. He intentionally let Kirill escape to enable the impossible, as audiences had grown tired of the usual outcomes. He revealed their bodies were still in the sphere, but allowed them to live this once, warning he always controls the game. Later, Ilya returned home, confessing he was the Mafia. He left his family $1 billion before dying. What people didn't realize was Konstantin was right about changing history. Kirill planned to enter the game again to finally end the show.